Hi, George here, and today, what do you think we're going to talk about? Oh yeah, we got a HoloLens. So when I say we have a HoloLens, I actually mean the center I run has a HoloLens. And, I gotta tell you right now, I spent no time learning about the HoloLens before I got to use it. I wasn't a fanboy spending, the last year watching everything Microsoft put out in their press releases and at their conferences. I did see that Minecraft thing they showed, where they had that other camera kind of displaying what was in Minecraft on a table. But I had no expectations. I've been using VR systems, large-scale ones, for over a decade now. Cave systems, head-mounted displays, and so forth. And more recently, though, in the last 2 years, I've developed with Google Glass. Just for a few weeks for a prototype, I moved on to the, the Vuzix M100. Spent some time with that as well. And I jumped into, recently, the Epson Moverio. And all of them felt almost the same. No real game-changing going on with any of these systems. This, though, this is amazing. This was beyond any expectation I ever had, and I had no expectations going into this. I truly was blind. To try to convey to you what it's like to have one of these things on, I have done the worst thing possible. And I have taken the headset and the camera you see right now, a Nikon D7100, and I shoved it inside as best as I could, and I put some holograms around, and I tried playing the different games while holding this thing, and just trying to give you an idea of what this is like, because I haven't seen it captured properly anywhere. I don't know the right way to capture it, so please bear with the quality. When it's on your face, it's a surreal experience, and this is coming from someone who's been doing this stuff for a bit now. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. Now this has already been unboxed. This is not an unboxing video. Quality of this, and when it arrived, was amazing. Now I will state, I actually had a problem with mine. This is actually my second HoloLens. The first one, which arrived, I'd say close to 3 weeks ago, had a malfunction, a faulty glitch, something with the view. Literally, when I started it up, all I had was a series of rainbow colors. And there was a few kinks in returning it, or getting a replacement, I should say, just because I made the horrible mistake of going directly through Microsoft support and not trying to dive into the HoloLens support, which is a completely separate entity, a completely different beast. I should not have done that. But after about a week, the folks, I don't want to name names, but the folks over there dealing with the HoloLens just did an amazing job hooking me up with another one, let them understand how incredibly eager I was to play with this, as long as with my students. And I mean, they sent it to me. I got it a day later. After they solved the problem and everything was fine, literally I walked in on a Friday after dealing with this on a Thursday, thinking I wasn't going to get a new one, and there it was, waiting for me. It comes in this dragon shell looking, I called it a dragon egg personally, but it comes in this little thing. The quality is great. Very happy with this. So we go ahead and open it up. We have our HoloLens inside. We have, of course, the charger and all the different components, but I'm really not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about my first experiences with this system. I already posted sort of a precursor video of my son trying this thing out, and I had to stick it on his face as fast as possible because it was just that amazing. I wanted to share this experience with my son, with my wife. My other son, he's only 10 months old. He's a little too young for this. I'm not going to strap this to his head. I mean, I know systems like the Oculus and the HTC Vive, the recommendation is not to put it on a kid under 7 years of age. So anyway, here it comes on out. Great quality, feels amazing. This is a developer piece, and it doesn't feel like it. This feels like a commercial piece. I feel like I could go and buy this. It's crazy, actually. It's flexible. So you can see right here, it flexes not only here at one hinge, but also right over here. And at first, it kind of makes you feel like it might break. But it's fine. Nothing's going to happen. It's been, on my son's head, and it's been fine. You get this nice little a circular piece that actually adjusts the length of this part. So what you actually do is and also, sorry, I'm jumping around, I'm just kind of excited. If you push, you can actually see that this entire head strap comes out. So usually when I'm first putting it on, I'll pull the head strap out, I'll open this thing up really big, and then I will, of course, shove my face. And yes, I am keeping my glasses on. No problem with it. In fact, I'm having less of a problem with my glasses than I do with the Rift or the... No, just mainly the Rift. But the Rift is the DK2. I don't have the real Rift yet. I'm still waiting for mine to ship. Apparently waiting a few hours on the first day they came out doomed me to waiting, several months. The idea here is it goes right on. Oh, before I put it on, there's a nose piece right here, and you can actually adjust it. So if you have a nose that, I guess the bridge of your nose is lower, you can insert that as well. Now, I have had a little bit of pain with this, but I think that's more about me not properly putting it on my head, because just today I put it on. I was able to situate it in such a way that I felt no pressure on my nose. But a few other times I did experience a little bit of it, but I didn't care. It was so much fun playing with this thing and having it on my head and seeing all the different stuff you can do that I just kind of grinned and bared it. Maybe you'll have a different experience. But we got our power and sleep mode button over here, along with a series of 5 LEDs that tell you how much power is left in there. We can connect this via USB, where is it? Right over here on the back side of it as well. There is an optional strap, but I haven't used this yet, that actually goes across the top. Maybe that will actually provide a little bit more support for me. I'm not sure. I haven't tried that yet. There's also a clicker, by the way, that comes with this that I haven't tried either yet. And the main reason is because I love using my hands. So one of the grad students, Mike, he doesn't like doing the air tap as much. He thinks the arms get fatigued, but I love it. I love the experience of my actual physical body interacting with these holograms. But that might also be because I've got 2 little kids and I have to carry them everywhere, so I'm used to having my arms up. So I've got some, stamina there. Let's go ahead. We just put this on our head. Let me get my hair out of the way. Put it on our head. I usually put my nose into the bridge first, so I know what that feels like, and I adjust back here. I will tighten a little bit, but not excessively, and the reason is because I still need to push the unit into my face, and I find that when I do push it into my face, things get tight really quick. My way of doing it, now I do have, and I just kind of adjust. I push it back and forth a little bit until I feel less pressure on my nose. And there we are. So all I do to turn it on is I press the little button in the back right there. And in just a few seconds, I will have it turning on. There we are. So you'll notice, hopefully, these lights blipping, blopping all over. Oh, wow. Okay, it's already up here. So I've got my start screen. Once again, I'll try to superimpose some video footage of me doing this. Oh, so we've got a couple different commands. The most important ones you usually have is the actual air tap. And the air tap's amazing. Now, I haven't been in this room before, so it's actually trying to scan the room right now. Here, let me put up a video of what it was doing upstairs. So when it scans, it's creating a complete and total 3D model of your room. Now, not necessarily terribly accurate. I've noticed the mesh itself can be a little bit, well, the triangles can sometimes be a little bit acute, and sometimes it messes some things up, but otherwise it creates an amazing mesh of your surroundings that can be used inside of these different applications to interact with the world. If it's trying to scan here. So what I was doing right there is I'm blooming. So the bloom, I consider it a lot like the back button on a cell phone. So it brings up that main interface and it usually gets me out of things. You're not in like a file browser or file system. You have these holograms that you place in location and location, and they persist. So this start menu, right now it's being tracked by my head, so as I move my head around, it kind of follows. But if I were to pick something like holograms in this case, and I will tap to run it, I'll get a new interface for the hologram, and it will live there. And I have a few boxes at the top. I've got my title bar, of course, at the top. I've got adjust, which allows me to reposition it around the world. And this part, I'm not going to be able to get footage of this because I don't have enough arms for it. But when you air tap adjust, you get this great menu around it, blue on all sides. You got these on the 4 sides of the box. You have these blue squares, and I can click and drag them to scale this thing up, and it just feels absolutely amazing. I can click and drag, and the dragging part, I can bring it forward, I can bring it back, I can throw it to the left or to the right or anywhere I want in this scene. The tracking is outstanding. This just feels amazing. Being able to select these objects, clicking them, tapping them, it's great. Very rarely make mistakes, and if I do, it's more my fault in not getting used to the system. I'm supposed to keep my hands in front of sort of a rectangular area right in front of me, but usually I'm doing something dumb like this, and I try to air tap over here, and it's mostly my fault. That's that. But let's actually talk about some of the games now. So there's a couple different games. Let's load these games up really quick. Bloom, please. There we are. So the ones we're going to talk about here, and these are the only ones I've tried, are holograms first. It's not a game. It's more of a... Okay, here's my only gripe right now, Microsoft. Holograms, that application. Please please make a way for me to be able to insert my own OBJ, FBX, Maya, I don't care what, but give me the chance to add my own files to that holograms list. I went on your forums, your developer forums, people said you need to make your own Unity app to do this and you just plug it in there and throw it down, which is what I'm actually in the process of learning how to do at the moment. Videos about that will follow up shortly. But that holograms folder feels like the photos or videos folder or the pictures folder. You know, my documents is what it feels like, and I should be able to put my documents in there, my 3D models. So please add that feature. It feels, it's begging for it, really, especially for someone like myself who's got a bunch of models from the past. Right now I'm trying to get a T-Rex skeleton in this thing, and I have to put a Unity project together to make that happen. So if I'm wrong, please someone tell me in the comments. Please add that feature. Anyway, so the two games we're going to talk about right now is Robo Raid and Fragments. Robo Raid is more of an... they're all virtual, they're all mixed reality. They use your surroundings in the game. Robo Raid does it to a lesser extent than Fragments. Robo Raid, the description I would say is Dr. Octopus's tentacles are busting through the different walls and evil little mechanical drones are flying out and trying to kill you, and you have to run around and make sure you don't get shot and while blowing them all up at the same time. It's an incredible feeling to play this for the first time, having these things burst through your walls. The walls of my own house were breaking down with drones flying in there, these tentacles shooting out, mechanical tentacles, Dr. Octopus tentacles really. Played it for probably about 30-40 minutes before I had to stop because the battery was getting low. Oh, and by the way, the battery was low not because it burns the battery quickly. Not at all. I'm incredibly respectful of the amount of time with everything this thing does. The battery life is phenomenal. It's not like Google Glass, which was what, like 50-40 minutes really when you're developing crap apps for it. And many of the other systems as well just dry out really quick. This is respectable. And what I mean by respectable simply is that I was playing games for hours, and even then it started to warn me about the battery life. So don't worry about that. Anyway, so Robo Raid, I had this incredible moment where a tentacle burst through the wall, a section of wall in front of it. It was down a corridor in my house, and the drone flew through the wall. And I thought, oh, did I find a bug? Was that a glitch? And then I tapped. And what happened? The wall exploded. And this wasn't something I realized would happen because I was actually pretty accurate. I was always shooting the enemies. I wasn't hitting the walls. But the wall exploded in front of me, and behind that wall was the enemy floating inside. I don't know if that's a glitch, but it's an amazing feature. It's a bug that's a feature as far as I'm concerned. So the second one, let me make sure I'm calling it the right thing, is Fragments. Now I've only played, I believe, the first full mission through that one. And that is actually pretty interesting. And I got a lot of great ideas about how you could do some amazing horror stuff with this. But Fragments is, you scan your room, and this one replaces a lot more of your room with stuff, with overlays and information, as opposed to the robot one. And I don't know if I like that. You know, it's just a different kind of flavor. What I didn't like, though, about it was the fact that I was losing... It didn't always cover up things as well, and I tried dimming the lights a little bit. I was playing it late at night, and maybe something was wrong, I don't know, but I didn't see the elements. Maybe the scene was too dark, because you start in like at night with a room full of all kinds of wooden planks and bricks and whatnot. It's a darker setting to begin with. But that game, graphics are phenomenal. I mean, it does a great job using very low poly elements to create realistic looking people. It's got some great effects, some vertex shader effects where if you get really close to them, they start exploding outwards. I think that's vertex shader, right? You wouldn't do that in a geometry shader. You do it in a vertex shader, right? Oh, you could do it in a geometry shader though, because you get the full element and you could break that out. Anyway, probably geometry shader it was done in. That was just a really great game. It puts clues all around your area, but this really makes me want to sit down and make a true sort of murder mystery game where a clue, for instance, would be wonderful in this. Placing the clues all around your house, having someone die, finding the body, and then dealing with that, and then potentially having other people play with you, the multiplayer experience in this. So anyway, I don't want this video to go on too long. Microsoft, you did it. You did something amazing. Not that you haven't done great things before, but I love this thing. And I'm right now learning how to get Unity apps in here so I can start throwing my own models. I've got some great ideas for some games, especially stuff for my son. I would really love it if he could build his own train tracks inside of this thing and have, Thomas the Train or, some other generic train that isn't trademarked, possibly, choo-chooing through the entire house. I love it. And I've been doing this kind of stuff for a while now. And a lot of times I see so much of this technology, I feel like I've lost it just doesn't impress me anymore. This impressed me to a whole other level. So thank you guys. Only gripe, and please, playing these games, the field of view, it needs to be bigger. It needs to be at least double the width and maybe at least, double the width, double the height, really. If you had that, that's it, you're sold. Everyone would buy it. You'd have more than enough field of view to basically see anything inside of a game you want to. So anyway, that's my take on the HoloLens right now. I've only been playing with it for a few days now, on and off here and there, but I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to start developing for this thing. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Bye.